Hey guys, welcome back to Tutorials. My name is Elelion, and today we will be covering about 5 things that you should be doing in the week running up to the bar exam. And these are 5 of the things that I was doing the week before my bar exam. Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. And the first one would be your weak areas. Focus on your weak areas. I can't stress it enough, especially if I know you've probably already identified your weaker areas, but look for your weakest areas. And if they are one of the most highly tested topics, you want to be finding those and spending time with them, okay? Even if it makes you uncomfortable. I'm sorry to say, sorry, I always wanted to do that. But anyway, I'm sorry to say, but you actually have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable so that you can feel comfortable. So, for example, if one of your weaker areas in torts is negligence, you're going to want to spend some time on negligence because negligence is 50% of the questions on the MBE. So you're going to get about 12 to 13 questions on negligence. And if that's something that you don't know at this point, you need to spend time with it. And one of the best ways to spend time with it is look at the practice questions, do practice questions, really spend time on looking at how they ask the questions, how they're coming up, the ones that kind of trick you, and then also take time doing that and reviewing those questions, okay? So that's the first one. Focus on your weakest areas, especially the ones that are highly tested. That will really help you move the mark, and you really want to focus on the ones that are going to come up more so that you can grab the most points that you can on the bar exam, okay? So that's the first one. Also, in conjunction with these tips, of course, practicing goes without saying, but then especially the ones in your weaker areas. And I wouldn't advise you do thousands of questions or try and catch up to do another 800 questions within the last week, only because I'm always an advocate of quality over quantity. So if you need to do maybe 50 in each subject, especially focusing on your weaker areas, then you can really see your improvement as you do those, and then have time to review the law, and then see where you need to pick up more points, see where you need to spend more time, and then commit that stuff to memory, which brings me to number 2. So keep memorizing. Don't slack on your memorization. Sometimes, as I've said, you literally just don't know the answer because you didn't know the law. So as long as you understand the concept and being able to see how it comes up, memorize that, commit that to your memory, and then you'll be able to answer the questions quicker. You'll be able to spot it quicker. You can even kind of memorize the way the questions come up. So if you see something with that scenario, you know what to do to answer the question. Obviously going in with a blank canvas, but then knowing that you've seen how this question is asked, you've seen that it's a nuance, you know you have to think about the exception to the rule rather than the rule, and just knowing these rules and exceptions is really going to help you go a long way. So don't forgo your memorization. I would say use those flashcards, spend time memorizing, and also doing that in conjunction with your practice questions, okay? Okay, so number 3 is to make sure you're taking breaks. And I know a lot of people right before the bar exam, taking a break is the last thing you want to be hearing me telling you to do. But actually, think about this, right? Imagine you're studying like nonstop, doing all these like crazy hours, and your brain just gets fatigued, your brain gets tired, and then you're trying to memorize, but you can't quite take in what you're memorizing because your brain is so tired. Give it a break, whether it's a 30-minute break, a 15-minute break. Go outside, take a walk, and come right back. You'll see it's more productive to do that than counterproductive. So basically, not taking breaks might be counterproductive for you also. And this will bring me to my next one, because on the bar exam, they give you breaks. Yes, we have those long 3-hour chunks, right? But you still get the break in between. So what you shouldn't be doing is doing 6 hours with no break. So number 4 is get yourself into a bar exam routine. And what I mean by bar exam routine is put yourself in the routine that you'll be in on the day of the bar exam, or the days of the bar exam. So if your bar exam starts at 9 a.m., then you'll know that you'd have to be up at a certain time to get yourself at your desk, ready in the center at 9 a.m. So in this last week, it's really important that you train your body to be doing the things you'll be doing on the bar exam. So if you're waking up at 6, wake up at 6. If you need to do things beforehand, work out, have your coffee, have a breakfast, do all of that, and then get to your study from that time. So it would be the 3-hour block and then take a break, just as you would in the bar exam, and do another 3 hour block. And in between these 3 hour blocks, you can still take mini breaks depending on how you're feeling. If you feel okay to go the whole 3 hours, some people can, then do that. But if you know you still need breaks at this time, take those breaks in between, as I said in point 3, but then follow that routine. And I call it the bar exam routine because it's literally what you do on the bar exam day. And then obviously you would finish quite early, around 5 p.m., but most people don't really finish study at that time. So you can do more. So I would do more. I would do the flashcards and stuff in the evening. I would kind of review everything and then take the evening off or take a break and then do the same thing the next day. And it really just got me into a pattern. So on bar exam day, I was doing the things I had been doing all week. I was familiar, I was comfortable because I had been putting my body through that same routine. Okay, so that is number 4. Okay, so number 5, and don't stop watching when I say this, okay? Because it's not cliche, it's actually very important. But number 5 is to keep preparing yourself mentally. And I say that because the bar exam is a very challenging place to be, especially in your own head, right? And throughout the, bar prep, you have those thoughts like, what if something goes wrong? What if I forget this? What if? But what if something goes right? Why don't we flip it around? And I got this from my mindset coach, Bryn Drescher. What if you flip it around? What if everything goes right? What if you get a majority of the questions that you had really been focusing on that were your weaker areas at one point, but they then became your stronger areas? What if you see the questions and everything just comes flooding back? Think positive and think of the good what ifs rather than the bad what ifs, right? And leading on to the next point under this same point is prepare yourself mentally for every scenario that could happen. So let's say you've got something that's coming up, or let's say that you see a question that you don't know, or like if it's on the MPT and you see a wild card, have a plan of action in your head, because your brain and people fear things that they don't understand or they don't know. We fear the unknown, right? But if you walk yourself mentally through, okay, this is an MPT that I've never had before. This looks crazy to me. What is my plan of action? Walk yourself through it in your head, as well as practicing, of course, but walk yourself through it. If I see an MPT that I don't know, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a breath. Then I'm going to just look at it from scratch. Look at it, imagine myself as if I'm in a law firm and a partner's come up to me and said, do this. What would I do in that scenario? Don't allow yourself to freeze up. And if you walk yourself through how you're going to deal with unexpected challenges or challenges that, you kind of foresee happening, if you walk yourself through that mentally beforehand, if it happens on the day, you're going to have a better canvas to go forward from, if that makes sense. You would have practiced it in your head 100 times, so you'll know how to deal with it. You'll know how to approach it. Okay, so it's a very good tip. It helps take that fear away and then helps you perform better on the day as well, knowing that you've been preparing yourself for this and it's come and this is how you're going to deal with it. Okay, and I say all this to say that mindset really does go a long way, so don't ignore it. And as I said to you before in a previous video, I had a panic attack because of all the overwhelm and not really taking care of my mindset, right? So you don't want to find yourself in that position because you haven't been preparing yourself mentally for what is a very challenging exam. But telling yourself every day that you're going to pass, really believing in yourself, is going to change your whole attitude and approach to the last days coming up to it. And when you're at the bar exam, I remember I would always hear people say, oh my gosh, I'll be back in February. And guess what? They were back in February. And so was I. I was there too. So I would know. I would be like, hey, you're back. And yeah, I don't want that for any of you. So please just keep yourself focused. And I will make a separate video just on mindset, a very short one, just a few tips to really keep you going mentally for the bar exam. And also, although I am also still taking on students for tutoring, something that I want to do based on the responses and feedback and messages I've been getting from some of you is just a 15-minute comfort call or a 15-minute confidence call. There's going to be a link in the description box and all you have to do is click it, book a time. It'll be 15 minutes. We can talk one-to-one. If you need some words of encouragement, if you need some uplifting, if you need some last-minute advice, this is what I'm making myself available to do because I didn't have anyone to do that for me. And from the feedback I've been getting from people from all over the world that I've never spoken to, hearing that sometimes they just need somebody who believes in them, I'm 100% willing to make myself available for that. So you can click the link in the description box and we can talk for 15 minutes. say what's on your mind. I can encourage you, uplift you, speak life into you. And I just really want you to know that even if you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. So you can borrow the belief that I have in you for yourself until the exam, and then we'll see you pass with flying colours. So thank you so much for being here. That's the end of the video, and I will see you at the next video. Lord,